Hey everybody, it's Matt Schmidt here, and I want to talk to you about something that's very crucial for your business, and that's forecasting and fulfillment. In this video, I'm going to talk about fulfillment houses and how you should utilize them to take your business really to the next level, specifically products that you're moving in high volume, that you need to have a high perceived value of, and we'll talk about a lot more benefits later on in the video. But first, let's focus on forecasting. Forecasting is a crucial part of advancing your product beyond the introduction stage. So we'll talk about timing and what's going on in your business here in a second in the next slide. But just know that proper forecasting can really save you a lot of time and money, as well as make your customers a whole lot happier. So it's definitely something that you need to be moving your entire business to. When your products are taking off, your lead item, it doesn't matter if it's 2-3 months of just pushing that item as fast as you can. Forecasting and fulfillment here will really help you out, and we'll explain why. So again, fulfillment is a natural fit when you begin to forecast because it's part of the equation of helping you save time and money when it comes to buying in bulk, which is what we're going to do. So when you begin to start forecasting, it's not in the testing of a product. That's when you're just seeing if it sells. Great, you sold a handful of them today. You can do those one-off purchases on eBay at this point if that's really the model that you want to go after. You can do one-off purchases on AliExpress, but I honestly recommend that you do it on eBay. If you break even on your costs and everything, that's fine, because if it actually has potential, the long-term profit will be there. The one-off daily stuff, I'm just trying to see if it works. If it does work, I'll just ship it out, and hopefully it's coming from the US and somebody gets it in a handful of days and I don't have to worry about it. It's not going to hit my customer support desk later on. But then, when you're building your pixel stage, you got your small orders, your drop shipping, and you're basically doing this off of AliExpress. This is where you can negotiate with an AliExpress supplier. We'll talk a little bit more about the drop shipping thing. To really get yourself an order of maybe 50 at a time or even 100 at a time, if you really need to. Once you start churning out a whole lot more per day, you're in the 100 or more per day, that's when you really need to start to forecast, because this is going to really start to bog you down. And it's going to be easier for you to forecast and get a bulk order to a fulfillment house and out to your customers in a short amount of time. Because the way things are going to happen is that if you have a handful of orders and it takes 15, 20 days for them to get there via e-packet or something like that, the risk of your customer support desk getting hit, the risk of your page getting bad reviews, the risk of your ads getting bad comments is very low because you've only done a handful of items. Well, if you have an order that goes out today for, say, 100 necklaces or whatever you're buying, you have an increased risk of all those things happening to you. And then once you start doing 100 per day, and people start forgetting, hey, it takes 2 to 3 weeks for me to get this necklace or whatever your shipping is, because a lot of stuff, no matter what it is, if it's a free plus shipping item or if it's a retail priced item, if it's coming directly from China and drop shipped to the customer, it's going to be slow. Unless you have something where you can bake like an EMS cost into it, or a UPS or FedEx faster shipping, air shipping. But it's really not cost effective on just one item unless you're selling something very expensive. So when you're a few days into the growth stage, you have a really good idea of how many you can sell of this item, really. Because if you only sold a handful per day up to this point and your growth period is just now starting, now you've reached this peak, run it for a handful of days, and then we'll talk more about how you can figure out how to get into true fulfillment and true inventory buying and things like that with lean amounts of risk as well. So on a side note, I just wanted to cover this real quick. Drop shipping. Most suppliers on AliExpress can do drop shipping, if not all of them. They just don't want to sometimes because it's going to have a little bit of a cost on their end as well. So just my experience with suppliers and ordering tons of different types of products, Ask the supplier if they drop ship because you have a large order that needs to be placed and you have no other option. So this is the mentality that you have. You're an experienced buyer. You've come there with a large order and you want to place it, and you need to have them drop ship. So I've even placed the order, not paid, just placed. But then in the notes requested a price discount for a large order and e-package shipping to each person on the customer list. So then they should adjust the pricing if they do that. Where do I send the CSV is a question that I ask them. So please give me an email address to send the CSV document with the shipping addresses for the e-packet shipping. If they say no, threaten to cancel that order. Other suppliers can drop ship. I'm trying to get a smooth transition with you and transaction with you. Please, tell me where to get the CSV and adjust the pricing for the large order and the e-packet shipping. If they still don't budge, cancel the order and walk away. Most will come back to you saying, okay, we've figured out a way how to do this. No, we can do it now, but it might have this little incremental cost to it for the, doing the manual drop shipping of the orders. That's fine because it's ultimately not going to cost you that much. It's going to be a little cost that's spread over a large amount of items. So at this stage, when you're doing the drop shipping, e-packet shipping by itself is expensive. But if you need to have a little bit of an incremental cost for them to do the drop shipping, you need to, what's the cost benefit of you having that done or you having somebody actually do the one-offs on eBay? I'm going to guess that the little incremental part is going to be the cheaper option between those two. So that's just a note on drop shipping. So as long as your niche is large enough, let's start talking about forecasting here. I would say 500,000 and above. You can start forecasting sales based off the data after a few days getting into the growth stage. So I have website conversion ads up, I got PPE ads up, I got click to website ads up, and I ran it for a handful of days. Maybe I'm getting up to 100 sales per day. So we're letting Facebook optimize so we know kind of what we're going to hit, and before we really scale up, we want to know exactly how many our target is going to be, and then we can forecast based off of a projection into the future. So this is like a constant number. So you've hit that 100 sales per day on a single item constantly over the last 4-day stretch. And that's the number we're going to use to forecast. Selling into an audience of 1 million people already, you've sold 700 total. Just plain numbers out there. So if you've taken your audience and you know there's 1 million people and you maybe have reached 100,000 and you've sold 700 so far, that kind of gives you an idea how much room is left in the audience to sell to, right? So you've reached only a small portion of your niche at this point in your product life cycle, which means it leaves less risk now to do a bulk order than at a later point during like the maturity stage or the growth stage. Communicate with your AliExpress supplier or find a product on Alibaba that's a sister site or another site of the same product, and tell them that we're going to start getting a bulk order. And a lot of the AliExpress buyers also have that listing on the Alibaba site. I've tended to order off of Alibaba once I get to this stage because I want to at least cross-check if the supplier is on both. At least cross-check your pricing, what they give you for the large order, with what's listed on Alibaba. So important things to ask right away when you're contacting these suppliers. How much inventory do you have on hand? Meaning, I have, whatever. They have 300 or whatever on hand right now that they could ship immediately. If they don't have that much on hand, or they don't have enough for you to do your forecasting model, how long does it take for them to manufacture? Note this down. Can you improve the quality? If so, what is the added cost? Again, a lot of times they can improve the quality for a very incremental cost that is just very small and makes a lot of sense because it's going to improve the quality of your item. What is the price breaks for your large orders? Here's where it gets kind of cool. So once you start ordering in a large amount, you can actually, that price reduction that you'll get for ordering in the large quantity can justify you improving your item a little bit, to where you're either breaking even on the pricing swings, so cost goes up for the improved quality, cost goes down for the bulk order. You might break even there, or you might have even a slight advantage where you're making a little bit money, saving a little bit more money with the bulk order. Sometimes your order size will move more than the cost of the quality improvement. It's a win-win. What can they ship via? So is it FedEx? Is it air? EMS is a lot of what we use. Just figure out exactly what they can ship via. So now you need to factor in all the variables. Their current quantity is 500. Remember, we're selling 100 per day. Their current quantity is 500. Their manufacture time is 3 days for 500 more with the improved quality, which has 5 cents more per item. That's a $25 upcharge for that 500. Their price break at 500 is, so if you ordered 500 right now, if you ordered all their current quantity, they would give you 3 cents off per item, or 1,000 is 6 cents, saving per. This isn't like a number that I've been given. I'm just using numbers to kind of use as an example here. Ordering 1,000 gives me $60 in savings. So I have a $25 upcharge, but I have $60 in savings because I'm going to order 1,000 of them. EMS shipping will cost $20. Again, let's take that into consideration. Don't forget to remove the e-packet cost later, because if you don't buy it via e-packet, then that cost isn't there. And then you're going to take, what if it was a $3 necklace, you're going to take off that e-packet, it's going to be a lot lower. E-packet is typically about $1.80 that I've seen on like really small items, necklaces to little widgets that are very small. And if you take that across 1,000 items, that's $1,800 in savings. But we do have a fulfillment cost that we'll get later on. But do these things even out for each other? I'm selling 100 per day, which is only 5 more days of their inventory. So obviously, if I want to figure out or have a longer amount of time that my inventory is there and available, then I'm going to have them manufacture, right? So I could order small batches and send via e-packet, which takes about 10 to 15 days or more to arrive to the customer. Or order 1,000, which is only 10 days of demand at this point. Wait 3 days to have the others produced. EMS takes about 4 days to arrive to a single point fulfill house. Have my fulfill house turn around 1,000 in a short time and deliver in another 3 to 4 days, because it's coming from the US now, so it's just going to be pretty quick. So total time is under 15 days for day 1 buyers, but total time is 4 days or under for the day 7 to 10 buyers, right? Because if we wait 3 days for it to be manufactured, that means, and then it takes 4 days to get there to the fulfillment house from China. So that's 7 days to get to the fulfillment house. So from day 1 to day 7, those people have a little bit longer time, shorter than the e-packet more than likely. But at the same time, 7 through 10, they're going to get it very quickly because that inventory is there, and that's the beauty of it. Reorder on day 5 or 6 gives my day 11 buyers a short turnaround time as well, right? Because you have that time period. So if it's another 3 days and 7 days, so your day 11 period, you guys are going to have a shorter turnaround time too. Also, I didn't take into consideration the remanufacturing of product here, because we would hope that, and in the conversation, you should also have it too, that they would produce more than just the 500 and have more than that on hand. Most of these suppliers have quite a bit of inventory on hand that you're not going to have that manufacturer demand as far as like waiting, but it's something to take in consideration if they do have to do it. Using a fulfill house also has other perks. So it's going to come in a nicer package. It's not going to look like it's just been shipped on, whatever it took to get over here. So it's not going to look beat up. It's not going to have, if you're shipping from China, it's not going to have Chinese writing on it. So it's going to have a higher perceived value because it's not packaged for long-term shipment, the distance shipping. It looks like it was delivered from somebody locally. A fulfillment house can also use their redress for returns, which you don't have that benefit if you're drop shipping from China. you have a direct line of control over your inventory too, right? So the inventory is there, you get to see it, you get to see the quality, you have that little break and that little middleman before maybe a crappy product gets to your customer, to be honest with you. And I've had plenty of those scenarios where my product came and arrived broken to the fulfillment house, and we did some adjustments on it to fix it before it got to my customer. That's going to help me with my relationship with my customers long term. And of course, faster shipping is also a huge perk. So 10 days of inventory is very lean. That would be a very lean model for your inventory. You can push up from there, which would give you more inventory to give to your customers and give them the shorter shipping rate as well, the shipping time as well. I've been using Ship and Grow as my fulfillment house for months now. That's run by Robert Nava and Rita O'Neill. They've, hands down, top-notch quality. They've understood the industry for longer than I have, as far as having products brought in and directly sent to a customer. They've handled small to mid-size items for me, but I understand that they order larger items. Their customer service is amazing. They're always very helpful in trying to get things fixed for me or get the lowest shipping rate, because they understand the industry. So they understand that the costs that are associated with people who push traffic on Facebook to their Shopify store and get products typically from China. So having somebody running your fulfillment house that actually understands your business model is something that is pretty unique, first of all, but you can't match that in a lot of places. So they do have volume-based requirements for your onboarding process. However, they also have an activation fee that I've talked with Robert, and they would actually waive that fee if you sign up with them through me. So it's a $125 activation fee per store, and they will waive that for you if you sign up through me. And this is the link that you need to go to. I'll also put it below this video. But you put physical product system in the company name section below your actual company, obviously. Just put that there so they know that you came from this and they know that I sent you. So that's it for the forecasting and fulfillment. I wanted to give you a kind of a rough idea of what a forecasting model looks like. Obviously, there's a lot of variables there that you need to take into account as far as manufacturing, your actual product, the cost of fulfillment once it lands here in the United States. But a lot of the small items that a lot of people have been selling, a lot of lead items that I like to sell, make a lot of sense to get to the fulfillment house almost right away. But you really should be doing it for any item as well, because if you're going after big niches and you plan on selling for a long period of time, you should not be afraid of having days of inventory, because you're going to move it, especially when you get better and better at driving traffic. So we'll see you in the next video, and I hope this has helped you out. Take care.